From desert sands to city lights in the dusty expanse of Roswell, New Mexico, where the skies stretched endlessly blue and the alien myths were the only excitement, Jake Harlan spent his days in a monotonous haze. At 32, he was a mid-level accountant at a small logistics firm, crunching numbers in a windowless office that smelled of stale coffee and regret. His routine was unyielding. Wake up at dawn in his cramped apartment, drive through barren highways dotted with cacti, and tumbleweeds, endure 8 hours of spreadsheets. Then return home to microwave dinners and binge-watching shows about far-off adventures. Jake had grown up here, amid the whispers of UFO lore and the quiet hum of small-town life, but lately, the boredom gnawed at him like the relentless desert wind. "Is this it?" he'd muttered to his reflection, dreaming of escape, but too anchored by familiarity to make a move. One sweltering afternoon in early 2024, an email changed everything. It was from a headhunter in Singapore, offering an interview for a finance executive position at a multinational tech firm. Singapore. Jake had vague notions of it, a tiny island nation in Southeast Asia, a hub of skyscrapers and efficiency. Intrigued by the promise of a six-figure salary and relocation perks, he applied on a whim. To his shock, he aced the virtual interviews, charming the panel with his analytical skills honed from years of balancing books for trucking companies. Before he knew it, he was packing his life into 2 suitcases, saying goodbye to his bewildered parents, and boarding a 20-hour flight across the Pacific. Touching down at Changi Airport felt like stepping into a futuristic dream. The terminal was a marvel. Lush indoor gardens with towering waterfalls, butterfly enclosures fluttering with color, and even a movie theater. "This is an airport," Jake thought, wide-eyed, as he navigated the seamless immigration process. His new company had arranged a service department in the heart of Marina Bay, overlooking the glittering skyline. From his balcony, he watched super yachts glide across the water. The iconic Marina Bay Sands Hotel, glowing like a spaceship with its infinity pool perched atop 3 towers. It was a far cry from Roswell's flat horizons. His first weeks were a whirlwind of adjustment. The humidity hit him like a wet blanket. But the city's air-conditioned efficiency trains, arriving precisely on time, spotless streets, and multilingual signs, made him feel oddly at home. At work, in a sleek office tower in the central business district, Jake dove into managing regional finances for AI-driven logistics. His colleagues were a diverse mix: locals with impeccable English, expats from Australia and India, all bonded over after-work hawker center meals. That's where Singapore first stole his heart, the food. His team took him to Maxwell Food Center, where he savored chili crab with its spicy, tangy sauce clinging to sweet meat, paired with fluffy roti prata and icy sugarcane juice. "This beats green chili enchiladas any day," he joked, though he missed the spice of home just a bit. As months passed, Jake explored beyond the office. He wandered through Chinatown's vibrant shophouses, their red lanterns swaying in the breeze, sampling dim sum and bargaining for jade trinkets. In Little India, the aroma of curry leaves and incense enveloped him as he watched. Deepavali preparations, streets alive with colorful rangoli patterns and sizzling street food stalls. But it was during Chinese New Year that Singapore's magic truly unfolded. In February 2025, the city exploded in festivities. Jake joined the throngs in Chinatown, where dragon dances snaked through crowds under fireworks that painted the night sky in gold and crimson. He tried yusheng, the prosperity salad tossed high for good luck, laughing as raw fish and veggies flew everywhere. "Toss higher for more fortune?" His new friend May, a colleague, encouraged. Amid the lion dances and angbo exchanges, Jake felt a sense of community he'd never known in isolated Roswell. Work thrived, too. Promoted to senior executive within 6 months, Jake led a project optimizing supply chains across Asia, his ideas praised in board meetings with views of the Singapore Strait. The pace was intense, but rewarding, unlike the drudgery back home. Evenings brought balance. Yoga in Fort Canning Park, where ancient trees whispered history amid modern joggers. Cycling along the East Coast Parkway, sea breeze cooling his skin. Then came the Singapore Grand Prix in September 2025, one of the city's crown jewels. Jake had scored tickets through work perks, and nothing prepared him for the spectacle. The Marina Bay street circuit transformed the city into a roaring arena. As night fell, the streets lit up under floodlights, Formula One cars screaming past at 200 miles per hour, their engines echoing off skyscrapers. He stood in the grandstands near the padang, heart pounding as Max Verstappen battled for the lead, tires screeching around hairpin turns. The atmosphere was electric. Champagne sprays from podium celebrations, live concerts with stars like Taylor Swift performing post-race, and street parties spilling into Clark Key's neon-lit bars. Jake Medellina, their vivacious marketing exec from Spain, is also an Expat over gin slings at a rooftop bar overlooking the circuit. Their conversation flowed from racing strategies to shared wanderlust, sparking a romance that mirrored his growing love for the city. Singapore's other events deepened his affection. During the Singapore Night Festival in August, he roamed Bras Basah, mesmerized by light installations projecting art onto colonial buildings. Street performers juggling fire and pop-up markets selling artisanal crafts. National Day on August 9th was a patriotic extravaganza. Parades at the float at Marina Bay with fighter jets streaking overhead in red and white formations, fireworks syncing to orchestral music, and crowds singing Majulah Singapura in unison. Jake, waving a tiny flag, felt a swell of belonging, even as a foreigner. The Madadam Festival followed, with lantern-lit gardens at the Chinese Garden. Mooncakes filled with lotus paste, and families picnicking under the full moon. By early 2026, Jake was transformed. No longer the bored accountant, he was a confident executive, negotiating deals in boardrooms by day and exploring hidden gems by night like the treetop walk at Makrichi Reservoir, where monkeys swung overhead, or the futuristic gardens by the bay, with its super trees glowing in synchronized light shows. His relationship with Elena blossomed. They attended the Singapore International Film Festival, debating indie films over laksa at Kat Hong. He even started a side hustle mentoring young professionals, blending his New Mexico roots with Singapore's innovation ethos. Reflecting on his balcony one evening, watching the city pulse with Life the Moralian spouting water, cruise ships docking, Jake realized he'd fallen irrevocably in love. Singapore wasn't just a place. It was a symphony of contrasts, tradition and modernity, chaos and order, all harmonizing in a tiny red dot on the map. From the arid boredom of Roswell to this vibrant oasis, he'd found purpose, passion, and a home. As the Grand Prix season approached again, he smiled, tickets in hand, ready for another lap in his extraordinary new life.